What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Grizz, and today we're going to be attempting to rebuild the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the Seahawks are kind of a weird team. Obviously, I think they're a lot better in real life than they are in Madden. But with that being said, obviously, right away, we need at least one wide receiver because I know Tyler Lockett's going to be declining. A couple of linemen, definitely a QB, because while Geno Smith's performing IRL, on the game, not so much. And he's also older. And then defensively, we're pretty solid. I like Witherspoon. I like Woolen. I like Quandre Diggs. Jamal Adams is all right. Highly overpaid, but it is what it is. Jordan Brooks is a guy that we're 100% going to have to bring back. Aside from that, I know Wagner's getting old, so he's in the walk. Our D-line's all right. I don't like Leonard Williams whatsoever. He doesn't perform in franchise. But for right now, team's solid. We're going to roll with it in year one and pick it up in the off season. So we were at the mid-season mark. We suck, and I just saw Tyler Lockett's $11 million that he's making, and I just know that he's going to regress. So I threw him up in the trade finder, and the Steelers were offering me George Pickens. So went and talked to him, pulled George Pickens in a third for Tyler Lockett. Huge trade in my opinion. Obviously, we're going to take a little bit of a penalty this year, but next year we're going to have a lot of cap room, and George Pickens, DK Metcalf, and Jackson Smith. Kind of crazy. Alright guys, so at the end of season number 1, we went 7-10. Kind of crazy that the Cardinals went 7-10, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, we weren't expecting to be crazy, but at the same time, 7-10, I would have rather done a little worse so that we could maybe, get a good draft pick. Geno had 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. Not great, but not terrible. Rushing wise, Kenneth Walker, 1,100 yards, 13 tutties. Receiving wise, Pickens over 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jackson Smith 1,000 yards and 13 touchdowns. DK 941 and 4. Fant 540 and 5. And then defensively, Jamal Adams was great. Bobby Wagner was great. Sack wise, Jordan Brooks had 7. Devin Bush had 6. 4.5 out of Leonard Williams. Okay. And then interceptions, Witherspoon with 4, Jamal Adams with 3, Quandre Diggs with 3. Love to see that. 16th best offense in the league and 27th best defense. So our defense sucked. So we were mediocre, but not too mad about it. Any Seahawks. Smith comes number 2 behind Bijan. And then Witherspoon comes number 2 behind Byron Young. Okay. Not too mad about that. Let's get into the offseason. Here in the offseason, we had a couple big upgrades. Jackson Smith goes up to superstar. DK does drop down to X Factor. Or drops down from X Factor, but he didn't have a great year, so kind of expected it. Defensively, everybody's kind of stayed the same. I'm surprised Witherspoon didn't go up to elite superstar with all those picks, but not terrible. Alright guys, and free agency is going to be a complete bust this year, only because we don't have any cap room. After we re-signed a few players, we brought back Jordan Brooks, brought back Devin Bush, just a couple players to kind of fill some holes that we have. And so we're just going to get right into the draft and hope to draft someone big. Here with our 11th overall pick, we're going to take Matt Peterson to hopefully be our quarterback of the future. He's not quick whatsoever. I mean, 79 speed's not terrible. Hidden dev trait, crazy throw power. His other stats were all A's pretty much, aside from his speed. So let's see how he turns out. And here in the second round, we're going to take a defensive tackle, Terrell Stinson. Hidden dev trait, crazy stats. Love to see it. And in the third round, I'm super excited about this pick. We're going to move him to right guard, obviously. But he was someone that I was looking at second round pick 11. Really hoping he fell, and yeah, sure enough, with our third round pick, we take DJ Jeffrey. Alright guys, here with our draft recap, the QB we drafted was a 76 overall, not bad. The defensive tackle we drafted was also a 76 overall, very happy to see that. A 70 overall right tackle, which will slide over to a right guard, he'll fit in pretty nicely. 71 overall right outside linebacker, 72 center, he'll fill right away. And then there was this hidden wide receiver, 71 overall, nothing crazy. Obviously not going to keep him. The steal of the draft, in my opinion. seventh round. I did see Jason Myers is making like 4 mil, so I drafted this QB, 77 overall, hidden dev trade. I mean, obviously it's nothing crazy, but it's still pretty cool. Just drafting our quarterback for the future. I went ahead and sent Geno Smith's garbage contract over to the Patriots for a 4th round pick, just to kind of shed some cap room. As you can see, we went from 9 mil in cap to a measly little 31 mil. So we'll definitely take that. We went ahead and also sent Quandre Diggs to the Patriots for a 2nd round pick. He's 32 years old, making 22 mil, and I have Julian Love, who's younger, behind friggin' Adams, so I can move over to free safety. I know he's a little bit less of an overall, but he's kind of a filler guy to clear up some cap room. All right, guys, heading into the technical year 1. This is what we're looking like. Obviously, we have our main guys. Pickens being the big addition. 2 rookies on the O-line. Love to see it. Hopefully develop some future there. Move Julian Love into the free safety position. Stars all across the linebacker position. Obviously, Jordan Adams. Witherspoon, Woolen. Definitely need a 3rd corner still. Right end's definitely a weak position, but everywhere else on the defensive line solid. Just hoping to either make the playoffs or be horrible so we get a high pick. Alright, guys, at the end of season number 1, or sorry, true season number 1, technical season number 2, we are 9-8, and we made the freaking playoffs. Going in the wild card against the Detroit Lions. Obviously not expecting anything crazy, but hey, worse things have happened in life, right? Looking at our stats, let's see how that Rook did. He had a decent rookie season, led the 10th best offense in the league. Our defense was 23rd, so improvement there as well. 3,900 yards, 25 touchdowns to 21 interceptions. You definitely need to pick that up. But Kenneth Walker said, don't worry, man, I got you. 1,500 yards, 19 touchdowns. Love to see it. DK had 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Jackson Smith, 926 and 9. Pickens, 791 and 1. Oof. I would not be too happy about that if I were him. Devin Bush and Julian Love both had over 100 tackles. I'd love to see that. Do we get to the quarterback? 14 and a half sacks out of Nwosu. Okay. Draymond Jones had 6. Mafi had 5. Stinson, our Rook, had 5. Love to see that. Interceptions wise, Tariq Woolen had 4. Bush had 3. Witherspoon had 2. Julian Love had 1. And Jamal Adams added 1. Wow, that 14 and a half sacks is crazy. Was that enough for defensive player of the year? Let's see. Kenneth Walker came in 3rd. Defensive player of the year? It was not. What? Only 8? That's crazy. Offensive rookie of the year? He finished number 3. We like to see that. Okay. And then defensive rookie of the year, we had Stinson coming in at number 5. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Looking at some depth traits, it does appear that we didn't have any upgrades at all. Stinson is a superstar, so you love to see that for sure. And then Peterson is a star, so that kind of sucks, but star is better than normal. Najiba went up to an 86. DK's up to a 91. Kenneth Walker's up to a 95. Heck yeah. All right. But now this is what matters. We've got to take down the Detroit Lions. Can we do it? Let's see. And we do. We beat them 28-21 as we take on the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. The underdogs here, they almost beat the Cowboys this week in real life. So maybe we're going to have some bad blood here. We can come out, we can beat them. Maybe. NFC Championship, maybe. No, we do only lose by 3, so I'm not terribly mad about that. Could have been a lot worse for sure. Alright guys, time for the offseason. We at least did lose to the Super Bowl champions as the Cowboys go on to beat Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. We got Mahomes winning MVP, Salah winning Coach of the Year, Jonathan Taylor Offensive Player, Byron Young Defensive Player of the Year. So we went from a defensive rookie to a defensive player of the year. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to the Rams as well, Corey Daniels. And Gio Dawkins on the Raiders takes Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here at the re-signs, the only thing that we really did was accept Charles Cross's option. Julian Love doesn't want to come back. Trey Brown doesn't want to come back. But I believe, if I'm not wrong, this is the free agency that we get Newsome. And I can never think of his name, that right outside linebacker. Ochuza? What? I don't know. I just butchered his name. Hope that doesn't mean he doesn't want to come play. And yes, okay. Owusu and Newsome are here, which is what I was hoping for. We'll give him a nice little 7-year deal, $6 million. Give him an $8 million sign-on bonus. I don't know if he'll actually want to come play with us, though. We are his #1 offer, so we'll see. Owusu does have some interest. 6.5, 6.3. Hopefully we get both of them. That'd be amazing for the squad. And then I'll look through, but aside from that, I think that should be all we need. Might look at signing a free safety, but I would really like to just bring back our boy. So we'll see. Alright guys, so in week 1 of free agency, we did get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. We signed Cameron Bynum. I was kind of looking. I was like, you know what? This is an upgrade over Julian Love. So I took him. I brought in BJ Hill on a 1-year deal to kind of be a filler, and Agba to kind of be a filler at left end as well. Now that does mean we lost Greg Newsome to the freaking Texans, man. That sucks. That really sucks. Dang. That's terrible. We obviously don't need Nick Chubb. You know what? I think we could probably draft a corner. We're just going to rely on that. Alright, guys. Being 100% honest, this draft was terrible. Didn't get a single hidden guy aside from this Eric Griffin guy. But I do see one of the corners I drafted. He did have elites across the board. He has a 79 overall. Susan Slayton is our slot corner, so definitely not mad about that whatsoever. 75 overall left outside linebacker. That's a plus. 76 overall tight end. I know these guys are all normal depth traits, but these are guys that are feasible. Guys that we could definitely use in certain situations. But yeah, not great. But also, you can't obviously expect to cash in on every draft. So I wasn't terribly upset. And we did get some positions that we needed. That's for dang sure. We got a tight end to kind of come in over Noah Fant. He's fast. We got a left outside linebacker that can kind of play a sub role. And then we got a corner. The corner was a big one. We definitely needed that. Alright guys, so heading into year #2, this is what the lineup's looking like. 85 overall across the board. Definitely a huge improvement over what we had. A terrible season as we end 5-2. And yeah, I mean, you had a middle of the pack year. 14 picks isn't great, but it wasn't terrible. 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns out of Kenneth Walker. 1,200 yards and 6 tutties out of DK. 980 and 9 out of Jackson. Fant had a great year. Defensively, 144 tackles out of Jeremiah. Sack-wise, 8.5 out of Agba. 6.5 out of Stinson. 2 picks out of Mafi. Terrible. Chiefs completely blew out the Saints in the Super Bowl. And as expected, no Seahawks getting any awards. We obviously accepted Jackson's good old player options. We get Tariq Woolen back. That's huge. Witherspoon, definitely accepting his option. It's not even a question. How much are we wanting? I'd give Pickens that. but he doesn't want to play. Okay, we'll replace you. No biggie. Ooh, it's gonna make him a little more expensive. But I'm glad to get him back. That superstar's huge. Walk. Everybody else can walk. I don't want to tag him. Alright guys, and with our first pick, we draft our guy that we're going to move over to right in, Nate Jackson. Hidden dev, crazy good stats. Hopefully he's a beast. Alright, here at the draft recap. Jackson is a 77 overall. He's going to be an instant plug-in. Zach Henry's a 75. He's going to be an instant plug-in. Clements a 73. He's going to be the second defensive tackle. Ratliff, he was hitting depth trade. We might see what we're going to do with him. And Barber was a beast as well. So not a bad draft. Not bad at all. I was looking, I forgot Charbonnet was even on the team because Kenneth Walker's insane. So I flipped him to the Bills for a second round pick. Kind of give us some more draft capital, maybe give us the opportunity to go all in next season. But right now, we're 5-2. So don't get your hopes up, but hopefully we might win. I spoke way too freaking soon. We don't even make the dang playoffs. Wow. Peterson's just not getting touchdowns. But we're going to roll with him. Walker had an amazing year. Metcalf had an amazing year. Smith had a 1,000-yard season. This Quan Weber guy had a great year. Defensively, Jeremiah's insane. 8.5 out of Terrell Stinson, 7 out of Draymond Jones, 2 picks out of Devin Bush. I mean, team's all right, but something's got to change because we're just not doing it. I don't know what's going on. We'll give it one more year. She was a complete wash. There wasn't anyone really there to get. So hopefully we can draft some really good guys in the draft or trade for some amazing players. Guess we'll see. I was going to trade away our first round pick, but this wide receiver just looked too good. Had to pick him up to be our third guy for the next season. So instantly we just make a huge trade. Picked up our defensive tackle and our middle linebacker for next season in Devin White and Vita Vea. Up 2 amazing O-linemen to fill the 2 holes that we have in our O-line, and Williams and Hunt from the Dolphins for Draymond Jones, a second and a fourth. And now all we need is an end. And we did just that by picking up Derek Brown to be our right end. Huge. Saves me for having to say trade for a wide receiver, as Lyle Winston is an 80 overall. Perfectly going to slide into that 3rd spot on our wide receiver depth chart, and we're set for this season, guys. And heading to our 4th and final year, this is what the team's looking like. We got a true 99 overall in Kenneth Walker, a 92 in DK, a 91 in Jackson Smith, and on the defensive side, a 89 in Jamal Adams, a 92 in Tariq Woolen, a 91 in Devin Witherspoon. And this team is looking completely different from when we first started. So let's go get us a ring, guys. We need it. Overall squad, we go 9-8. Wow. We have the 2nd best offense in the league. And how's our defense that bad? But Matt definitely picked himself up. Kenneth Walker had an amazing year. DK and Jackson Smith. Noah Fant had an amazing year. Defensively, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had an amazing year. We got to the quarterback. We picked off the quarterback. I don't know. And you know, who cares? We made the playoffs, taking on the Pack in the wild card. Let's go get us a ring, guys. Gotta get us a ring. We need it. Come on. Take down the Pack. Take down Jordan Love. He's still there. And we don't. So a 93, a 92 overall squad can't even make it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and sub. Comment what team you'd like me to do next, and comment what I need to start doing differently, because I thought I had an amazing team, especially whenever you see over a 90 overall team. But what do I know?